10 accidental discoveries that made ordinary people millions. Have you ever hoped for a change in your financial fortune? Some people's aspirations have come true as a result of fortunate discovery. If you found yourself in need of a few extra dollars at the end of each month, it might be time to gather all of your fortunate items and go on a treasure hunt. Some people have been fortunate enough to be at the right place at the right time. That's true, their unintentional discoveries turned out to be life-changing financial opportunities. There are numerous factors that might contribute to the value of anything. It could be due to the fact that they are really old and have managed to survive for so long. Other artifacts are extremely valuable because they were utilized by a historical figure. Other things were that at significant times in history, such as the winning game or a world record. Whatever the case may be, these artifacts may be worth more than we realize. Before we continue, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so that you can be updated by my new videos. Number 1. A 1974 penny. It's possible that it's time to hang on to all those old pennies. After all, you never know what they might be worth down the road. Robert Lawrence was fortunate enough to inherit from his father a lunchbox stuffed with ancient coins. There was, however, one that stood out. Robert inquired further and received an expert's assessment, who estimated the coin's value to be $300. That was only the start. The penny was eventually discovered to be from 1974. Because copper was too expensive, the mint created roughly 1.6 million aluminum variants of the coin. Regrettably, the idea was rejected by the U.S. Congress. All except one of the coins were recalled and destroyed by the mint, or so they believed. Due to its rarity, they later determined that the coin was worth an astounding $2 million. Number 2. Staffordshire Hoard. There's discovering the world's greatest collection of Anglo-Saxon silver and gold metalwork, and then there's discovering the world's largest collection of Anglo-Saxon silver and gold workmanship. Over 3,500 objects have been strewn about since the 7th century. Terry Herbert discovered the collection in 2009, and that was the end of that. He picked up a metal detector at a yard sale for a few dollars and was eager to put it to use. The first of the treasures was discovered by Terry while searching a recently plowed stretch of farmland. Bringing all of the fragments to the surface took 5 days of painstaking work. After the collection was sold to local museums, Terry and the landowner received $4.1 million for the Staffordshire Hoard, which was called after the location where it was discovered in the United Kingdom. Number 3. A first edition action comic. One extraordinary discovery was going to change the lives of a couple in the United States. They were worried that they would lose their home because they couldn't keep up with their payments. That is, until they started going through the attic boxes. They found a copy of the original action comic inside one of the books. This was the very first Superman comic book, and it was in excellent shape. The comic received an 8.5 out of 10 rating. It would have cost only 10 cents when it was initially launched in 1938. It wowed the auction house in 2010, netting the pair a stunning $1.5 million. Until 2011, when other copies sold for $2.16 million, it held the record for the most expensive of its kind. Number 4. Royal One Opal. When an Australian miner was looking through his last bucket of rocks, he came across something interesting. To make ends meet, Bobby had been forced to sell all of his old mining equipment to a friend. Bobby uncovered a dirty pebble with flecks of gold and green flashing through while digging through his belongings. He diligently chiseled out the diamond for 2 years until he discovered an extremely rare 306-carat black opal. Bobby was so afraid it would be stolen that he slept with it under his mattress and wore it around his neck in a pouch for 14 years before ultimately transferring it to a bank vault. He didn't sell the Royal One Opal until 2016, when it fetched $3 million. Number 5. All Quiet on the Western Front poster. Could you imagine finding anything extremely valuable in a thrift store? What about a deal where you get 2 for the price of 1? Laura Stouffer had previously worked as an antique dealer and was well-versed in the handling of precious items. She was exploring a store when she came across Shepherd's Call, a painting. Because it was made around 1850, Laura recognized it was valuable and quickly purchased it. Laura did notice an extremely rare All Quiet on the Western Front poster lurking between the painting and the backing until she arrived home and removed the artwork from the frame. It was created in 1930, and the poster was later sold for $20,000, despite the fact that it had been forgotten for so long. Number 6. Drink from 1917. Many of us take on a variety of home improvement projects. Brian Fite was no different. He desired to have air conditioning installed in his home. Brian had no idea that he had been keeping a secret all these years. Brian's house was built in the 1850s, and when he lifted the floorboards in his attic, he discovered bottles of alcohol that had been hidden for nearly a century. Brian initially mistook them for the house's old plumbing. He didn't know where they were 13 full bottles of booze from 1917 until he took them out. The bottles were judged to be worth up to $2.6 million by experts. Number 7. Amarillo Starlight Diamond. Over the years, Diamond State Park in Arkansas has seen a lot of hopeful miners come and go. The park invites visitors to seek for diamonds, and the only regulation that applies is finders keepers. Johnson, like many others, began dating into the ground only to discover something remarkable. It wasn't simply a diamond, it was a white stone weighing 16.37 carats. The largest diamond ever discovered in the park is still this one. As if that weren't enough, the Amarillo Starlight diamond's size and rarity make it extremely valuable. Number 8. The Declaration of Independence. An unidentified man purchased a painting in 1989 and discovered that something was hidden behind the frame. The painting was only $4, but the man only wanted the frame. In truth, he intended to discard the photograph entirely. He didn't notice anything weird until he took the painting out of the frame. The Declaration of Independence was the name of the document. Only 500 printed copies exist in the world, and many have never been discovered. Because it was hidden under the picture, it appeared to be nearly new. He then sold the Declaration of Independence at auction for a cool $2.4 million. In 2006, Michael Sparks discovered another copy in a music resale store. He did, however, only receive a $477,650 salary from the auction business. Number 9. And 1,887 Faberge egg. After paying $14,000 for an egg, an unidentified guy believed he had made a winning buy. It stayed on a shelf for years, though, and the man soon realized he had misjudged its value. The father tried to sell the egg to scrap metal traders for $500 after falling on hard times, but they turned him down. Only then did the man attempt to discover the truth about the egg. He typed Vasher and Konstantin, the name inscribed on the egg. He turned out to be the owner of the third Faberge egg, which had been lost for years. Carl Faberge created 50 for the Russian royal family, each with a surprise inside. He'd only ever made 3 before, and this one was worth a whopping $33 million. Number 10. A vintage JaegerLeCoulter watch. Zach Norris went to his local secondhand store to seek for a golf cart. However, as he was about to depart, he noticed a display of watches. Zach began browsing the collection and came across a JaegerLeCoulter timepiece. Zach had known the name for years because he had been collecting vintage timepieces, but he had no idea how much it was worth. Because just 1,000 were ever created, it was one of the most sought-after watches of the time. In addition, the 1959 model was a deep-sea alarm and one of the first watches to include a diver's alarm. Surprisingly, the alarm continued to work after some winding. Zach paid only $5.99 for the watch. He then sold the watch for $35,000 at an auction. I hope you find this video helpful. If you like the video, do like and subscribe as it really helps our channel, and do remember to give your feedback in the comments below. See you in the next video with some more interesting topics and facts.